Good morning, this is Mayayo speaking for Trail Running Spain with a gorgeous new prototype from Salomon called Salomon Mesh Gore-Tex 3D Fit. Now, what's so very special about this prototype, other than its sleek forms and patterns and racing looks, of course, it's that the Mesh project has come from Kilian straight himself as to create unique and personalized trail shoes that feel as though we were wearing nothing but still deliver the protection and traction that, as not naturally born mountain animals, most of us, still are there to protect us. So that's part one of Mesh. Part two of Mesh is the ability to be produced by a 3D printer almost anywhere in the world, therefore freeing us from the current dependence on huge industrial complexes in China. The very special thing about this specific prototype, which as you see we are starting to run with it, and then we'll have to give it back to the company at Annecy, so they will be taking measurements on how we have worn it and learn from that as for the use of every trail runner, because every one of us has a different gait, a different technique, a different striding pattern. So now what we are looking for with this mesh is to achieve that rare feeling of flow that mountains, lovers, we talk about it and dream about it so much, which is that rare moment during which you feel that confidence and control are aligned and allow you to run instinctively without really rationalizing what you're doing. Now, to do this, the shoes are filled from your feet up. So, number one, a mold of your feet are taken at Annecy, and then on that mold, a knitting, as you see, a single piece of knitting is installed on that mold. Now, number two, and this is pretty unique for Gore-Tex, and this is what's very interesting about this 3D fit, is that the Gore-Tex membrane is then put on the mesh knitting, still no rubber, still no laces, just the knit. Now, number three, the knit and the membrane are glued together by a robot. So basically, the Mesh project, it's also about replicating shoes anywhere in the world and allowing us independence from the huge industrial complexes in China. Now, number four, a stability piece is added, and the sock is then turned upon itself. So the shoe is almost ready. Now, step number five will be the shoe to be fused thermically. So all layers are merged and become a single piece. And number six, of course, no shoe without your rubber and your laces, which are the final touch. As always in a mesh project, there's not a specific single unit and standard measurements, but it's rather all about adjusting different modules and components. So you may choose your own sole and your own cushioning and some other relevant pieces so as to get exactly what you need to achieve that flow. Nevertheless, in this particular unit for myself, we see a racing silhouette. As they are similar to the very ones that Kilian developed and worn on the last Sierre Sinal race, the 4,000 meter peaks race in Switzerland, 30K with more up than down, and therefore it's got a narrow sole, 10.5 centimeters up front, 8.5 centimeters at the back. It's got quite prominent lugs, around 5 millimeters, the traditional mounting design for the Salomon S-Lab rein. The compound is, of course, the classic contact grip, well known. And in terms of the cushioning, it does have a dual density cushioning, and it does provide quite a more cushioned ride than usually you feel with the Salomon shoes, which are usually very close to the ground and tricky. As for the knit, obviously it's a single piece. It's but the uniqueness of this upper is, of course, the 3D Gore-Tex fit, which aims to be the most flexible Gore-Tex yet for your shoes. As you know, Gore-Tex shoes usually have three handicaps. The one, it's heavier. The second, it's stiffer. And the third, whenever water goes in, it's hard to push out. Now, here we're trying to solve the two first. It's lighter as it is fused with the rest of the knit from the start, and it's also far more flexible. I bear witness to it. I have taken the shoe with me for some days inside my home, just wearing them. And after the first day, it just felt like a shock rather than a shoe. It's surprising, actually. So now we will put them out to the test and run them out here at the Guadarrama National Park on the snow that we still got, on the rocks. We've got granite, much like in plenty of places in the, let's say, Scotland or Lake District or similar, and share them with you what we feel before, of course, complying with the requirements from the SLAB laboratory at Annecy, and then send them back to them, which will bring together the pattern of data for several beta testers all over the world and keep in working. So follow us at Trail Running Spain for most of the best trail running gear that we find out there in the mountains. See you. Bye.